Happy Saturday, social media family. Um, Coming to you from the Sugar Shack Farm. Excited today to show you the process to make pumpkin seed tofu. Some of you will remember that last week, for the first time, I made pumpkin seed tofu. It was delicious and it was so simple. One of the best things about the pumpkin seed tofu is that it is made with two ingredients, pumpkin seeds and water. So what a great alternative to the meat alternatives and substitutes that we're now buying in the store when we don't want to eat meat. Those meat alternatives have soy, some have pea protein, some have things that we can't even pronounce, which is what we were trying to escape in the first place by eating better. So this recipe is an easy recipe, one where you can control the ingredients. You can marinate it however you want after so that it will taste the way you want it to taste, but it's simple. I want to ask everyone for grace because these spots, I've been busy all day, and these spots come from a day of raising chickens and finding things to do around the urban farm. So a little grace there while I just show you step one. So I have to do step one, and then I'll have to come back again tomorrow and show you the next step. The first step is to soak the pumpkin seeds because they need to fill with water and expand before we can make the tofu. So just gonna turn a little so you can see the pumpkin seeds. Of course, there's really nothing to see here except I am going to cover them with water. I have a little spring water that I'm using. I don't have to use distilled water for this, but I want to just make sure it's not, the Indianapolis water from the faucet because I have not really enjoyed that. So the pumpkin seeds are covered with water and we will let them soak overnight in the refrigerator. I will come back tomorrow and we will do step two. For the purpose of the video, it'll all be one big step. Okay, happy Sunday, Sugar Shack social media family. We're going into step two of our pumpkin seed tofu process. Remember, this is a very easy process to make pumpkin seed tofu with only two ingredients, pumpkin seeds and water. And so we have soaked our soaked our pumpkin seeds overnight. We've drained them, we've rinsed them, and now we are blending them. So just to expedite the process on this video, I've already started the blending process. I put half of a pound because we started out with 1 pound of pumpkin seeds. I put half of those in the blender. Doubled the water. So 1 portion pumpkin seeds to 2 parts water. 1 part pumpkin seeds, 2 parts water. Blended it into a pureed mix. So I guess that's the consistency when it's ready. And now I am going to drain the pumpkin seed mix into, this is a nut milk bag. So if you were gonna make almond milk or some other milk, you could use this bag. And I'm going to pour this mixture in the bag. And of course, the bag acts like a fine strainer. Ooh, don't want to put it too far out. And then I'm going to twist the bag. I would have normally used my big pot, but did not want to bring it over for the video. So we're gonna twist and turn and drain. Doing it delicately because I can't be that messy or too messy. Okay, twist it to get everything out. So you see how much handwork we have to do in this mixture. If I were making this for other people, I would definitely have gloves on. There is a lot of hand work making this. So I've now strained or poured that mixture into the pot. We'll come back to the pot later. And I'm going to repeat and finish with the rest of these pumpkin seeds. So I'll be back. Okay, so here's a look. We're back after blending all of the pumpkin seeds and separating the pulp from the liquid. And so here's the liquid. Let me give you just a better look at it. And we're going to heat it now. But just reminding us that we started with 1 pound of pumpkin seeds. And as we blended them, we added 1 part pumpkin seed, 2 parts water. Also, these were not salted pumpkin seeds and they weren't roasted pumpkin seeds. They were just raw pumpkin seeds. Here's what the pulp looks like. And I want to just, my Sunday apology is I have moved the Sugar Shack's kitchen. So the Louisiana kitchen is very bright and we are trying to make sense of the Indiana kitchen right now. So as the weeks go on, you'll probably see some brighter, lighter, more open pictures of the things that we're doing, the recipes that we're making. But for now, we're working with what we have been given and we're grateful to have those things. Okay, so moving on to part 3. You can see now the pumpkin seed liquid. We separated the pulp from the liquid in the blender and we are now heating the liquid. And so I've attached my thermometer to this pot. I need to raise the heat to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So here I am stirring this and waiting for it to get up to 180. What is going to happen is, what better happen is that you will start to see a little bit of curd as it heats up. Okay, so as the temperature approaches 150, we're a little bit above 140, you can see the start of the curds. Can you see that? So it went from liquid and now it is changing and getting a little curdy. So I am going to continue to stir. Let me grab my Okay, now we're at 150. See, they're getting larger. Getting really large now at 150. Prepping to put the tofu in the tofu press. So in fact, let me just pick it up. So this is a tofu press. Once the curds go inside, the tofu goes in and it presses down and puts a lot of weight on the tofu. Okay, looks like we are at 155 now. So also I am going to line this tofu maker so that the tofu will drain and will pop right out with a clean, very thin towel. Okay, we are almost there. We are right there. Let me give you a look at it now. Look at all of those huge curds here. So those curds, of course, are going to become the tofu. I am going to do is start to move the curds into the press. Draining them with the spoon here, putting them into the press. And I've decided that I'm also going to try to shape one into the shape of a hamburger. Turn this off. Make sure I clear everything out. Okay, so what came out of the pot? The curds. And I was able to put them into the tofu press. Not all of them. Remember, I took a little piece out to try to shape one like a burger, but these are most of them. And they are nicely fitting into the tofu press. And the nice thing about the tofu press is the pressure, that it puts on it. I was gonna show you. But when you push down, it locks and it applies more pressure. So you see a nice little tofu slab. Okay, that almost final stage. Let's look at the pumpkin seed tofu that has basically sat overnight in the refrigerator. This is that final product. So keep in mind, I took some out for a burger, but what I'd like to do now is marinate it. Just a moment. So I'm just gonna cut this in half just so that I could marinate it. And I am gonna use some ginger garlic and a little bit of Japanese barbecue sauce and a little bit of tamari. Let this marinate. How about we put a little, I made this onion powder and it is sticking a little bit now. So I am going to cover this, put it back in the refrigerator so it can marinate, and then I will cook it. But I also want to take a look at the burger. This is purely experimental. I don't know what this is going to be like, but it did come out in the right shape. And I also want to marinate this. I put a little Worcestershire sauce on it. Okay, we really got to see what this is going to look like. Oh, paprika. A little bit of garlic. And a little bit of rosemary and garlic. So after, just a little bit of tomato, I will come back to cook these and tell you what it tastes like. But first we'll let it marinate. I'm actually going to let it marinate for 2 days so that the tofu picks up the flavors that I am trying to share, trying to taste. So, okay, till we meet again. Yeah. So here is the final pumpkin seed tofu burger. I don't know if you can say hamburger challenge. I fried it after I marinated it. Put some tomatoes. Good. Mm-hmm. What does it taste like? Well, I marinated it with rosemary, garlic, and Worcestershire sauce.
It tastes like rosemary.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
It's good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was a success. Like meat. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. So for those of you who have been frustrated because you can't get that texture like meat, the pumpkin seed tofu burger is the thing.
It's very good.
The final product, my mother is pleased.
Mm-hmm.